Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a world where history and fortune come together in the palm of your hand. Australia's 50-cent coins may look ordinary at first glance, but hidden among them are treasures worth thousands of dollars. These rare pieces carry stories of national pride, great explorers, war heroes, and unforgettable milestones. And when paired with unique minting rarities, their value soars to astonishing heights. Stay with me, because in this video, we reveal the secrets behind one of the most valuable 50-cent coins ever struck in Australia, and just how much it could be worth in today's market. And now, let us step into the year 2001, when Australia celebrated 100 years of unity. To mark this historic milestone, the Royal Australian Mint released the Centenary of Federation 50-cent coin, a piece that carries not only the pride of a nation, but also one of the most valuable secrets in modern Australian coinage. This coin is not just a piece of change, it is a treasure, a coin that carries both historical importance and immense value in the collector's market. And by the end of this video, you will see exactly why this 50-cent piece is considered such a prized possession. Let's start with its history. In 2001, Australia celebrated the 100th anniversary of Federation. This was a monumental occasion, the moment when 6 separate colonies united to form the Commonwealth of Australia back in 1901. To mark this centenary, the Royal Australian Mint issued a special series of coins, including the famous 50-cent Centenary of Federation series. These coins were more than just currency. They were commemorative masterpieces. Each design reflected national pride, unity, and the journey of Australia as one nation. The 50-cent coins featured intricate designs that stood out immediately to both everyday Australians and seasoned collectors. But among these Federation coins, one version became legendary: the 2001 50-cent coin without a mint mark. Normally, commemorative coins bear clear mint marks to identify where they were struck. However, a very limited number of these coins were produced without any mint mark at all. And that error, my friends, turned this coin into a rarity that the collecting world cannot get enough of. Imagine holding one of these coins in your hand. It looks like an ordinary 50-cent piece at first glance, but as you examine it closely, you realize something is missing: that tiny but crucial mint mark. And it is that small detail that transforms this coin from everyday change into a collector's dream. Now, why is this coin so valuable? The answer lies in its extreme rarity. While millions of Federation coins were struck for circulation, only a fraction came out without mint marks. That tiny population of error coins makes them incredibly hard to find today. Rarity drives demand, and demand pushes value to astonishing heights. Collectors all over the world compete to get their hands on this piece of Australian history. And the more time passes, the rarer and more valuable these coins become. Because many have already been scooped up by top collectors, fewer and fewer remain in circulation. Another reason this coin stands out is the emotional connection. It represents a century of Australian unity, pride, and identity. Combine that with the era that created its rarity, and you have the perfect recipe for one of the most desirable modern coins ever released in Australia. Now let's talk numbers, because I know that's what you're waiting for. Depending on condition, this coin can fetch thousands of dollars in the collector's market. A well-preserved 2001 50-cent Centenary of Federation with no mint mark can command prices soaring well into the $10,000 range. And in exceptional cases, collectors have paid even more. Think about that for a moment. A 50-cent coin, a piece of change you could once hold in your pocket, now worth thousands of dollars. That is the kind of discovery that excites coin hunters, treasure seekers, and collectors alike. And here's the most thrilling part. These coins are still out there. They might be sitting in old collections, tucked away in drawers, or hidden among piles of coins in forgotten jars. You could even stumble across one in circulation if you are extremely lucky. That possibility, That chance of finding a fortune in what looks like ordinary change is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's a treasure hunt where history and value come together in your hands. So the next time you come across a 2001 50-cent Centenary of Federation coin, look closely. Examine it with care. If there's no mint mark, you may be staring at one of the most valuable Australian coins of the modern era. And remember, value only climbs higher as time goes on. With demand increasing and rarity set in stone, this coin is destined to remain one of the crown jewels of Australian numismatics. Ladies and gentlemen, let this story motivate you. Keep searching, keep collecting, because in the world of coins, even the smallest piece of metal can hold unimaginable value. The 2001 Australian 50-cent Centenary of Federation coin with no mint mark is living proof of that. From history to rarity to staggering collector value, it is a coin that turns dreams into reality. So hold on to your change, keep your eyes sharp, and never underestimate the power of a single coin. That 50-cent piece could very well be worth thousands of dollars. As we leave behind the Centenary of Federation, we journey back a few years to 1995, a year when Australia honored one of its greatest war heroes. The 50-cent coin featuring Sir Edward Weary Dunlop is more than just currency. It is a tribute to courage, sacrifice, and an enduring national legacy. It is a tribute to a national hero, a symbol of courage, and a treasure in the world of numismatics. And as you'll soon see, its rarity has transformed it into one of the most valuable coins you could ever hope to find. The story begins in 1995. That year, Australia released a special commemorative 50-cent coin to honor Sir Edward Weary Dunlop. Dunlop was not just a doctor, he was a war hero, a surgeon, and a man remembered for his incredible service to Australian soldiers during World War II. Captured by the Japanese and forced into the horrors of the Thai-Burma Railway, Dunlop stood as a beacon of hope. He used his medical skill, bravery, and leadership to save countless lives in conditions that seemed impossible. Australians rightfully regard him as one of their greatest sons, and it was only fitting that his likeness was immortalized on a coin. The Royal Australian Mint struck millions of these commemorative coins for circulation. Most were marked clearly with mint identifiers, but as is often the case in the mysterious world of coin production, a very small number were struck without a mint mark. That tiny detail, the missing mint mark, is what makes this coin so extraordinary. While a regular Dunlop 50-cent coin is already a meaningful keepsake, the no-mint mark version is a rarity that collectors hunt for relentlessly. Imagine finding one in your pocket change or inside an old coin jar at home. At first glance, it looks like the commemorative coin everyone has seen. But on closer inspection, you realize the mint mark is missing. That discovery could be life-changing. So why is it valuable? The answer lies in two simple words: rarity and demand. Very few of these era coins exist. Collectors across Australia and beyond know how significant Sir Edward Dunlop's story is. Combining that national pride with the rarity of a minting anomaly, this coin is pushed to the top tier of Australian collectibles. And here is where it gets exciting. These no-mint-mark Dunlop 50-cent coins have been recorded selling for astonishing prices. Depending on condition, they can fetch several thousands of dollars on the open market. Well-preserved examples have been known to bring in prices exceeding $5,000, and in premium condition, even higher offers are possible. Think about it. A coin worth only 50 cents when it left the mint, now commanding thousands of dollars simply because of a small production error. That's the magic of numismatics. Collectors love coins that tell a story, and this coin tells too. First, the story of a great Australian hero whose courage in war inspired a nation. Second, the story of a rare minting anomaly that turned an already special coin into a priceless treasure. What makes this even more thrilling is the fact that these coins may still be sitting unnoticed in collections, drawers, or boxes of loose change. The chance of finding one may be slim, but it is never zero, and that chance alone fuels the passion of collectors and treasure hunters alike. Every coin has a journey, and the 1995 Dunlop 50 cent with no mint mark has a journey that continues to inspire. From the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, to the hands of ordinary Australians, to the treasure vaults of top collectors, its path is lined with history, honor, and immense value. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about valuable coins, we talk about more than just price. We talk about legacy, we talk about rarity, and we talk about the thrill of discovery. This coin has all of that and more. So the next time you look at a 1995 Dunlop 50 cent coin, take a closer look. Search for that missing mint mark. Because if you are holding the rare no mint mark variety, you could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. And with time, the value of this coin is only set to grow. Collectors know it, investors know it, and now you know it too. The 1995 Australian 50 cent Sir Edward Weary Dunlop with no mint mark is not just currency. It is a piece of history, a symbol of heroism, and a valuable treasure that can transform an ordinary collection into something extraordinary. From honoring a national hero, we now turn to another remarkable chapter in Australia's history. In 1998, the 50 cent coin commemorated the 200th anniversary of George Bass and Matthew Flinders' discovery of Bass Strait, a celebration of exploration, courage, and the spirit that shaped a nation. It is a symbol of exploration, a tribute to the spirit of discovery, and in its rarest form, the no-mint mark variety. It has become one of the most valuable modern Australian coins ever released. Let's step back into history. In 1798, two young explorers, George Bass and Matthew Flinders, set out on a daring journey. With courage and determination, they confirmed that Tasmania was separated from mainland Australia by a stretch of water that would become known as the Bass Strait. This discovery was monumental, reshaping maps and securing their place in the history of exploration. 2 centuries later, in 1998, the Royal Australian Mint chose to honor that achievement with a special 50 cent coin. The design captured the essence of discovery, showing ships, waves, and the imagery of exploration that tied directly back to Bass and Flinders' historic voyage. The coin was released into circulation so that everyday Australians could carry a piece of history in their pockets. It was a celebration of the courage and vision that helped shape the nation. But among these coins lies a variety so rare, so extraordinary, that it has taken on legendary status in the world of numismatics. The 1998 Bass Strait 50 cent with no mint mark. Normally, coins struck at the mint carry distinct markings. Yet in this case, a small number slipped through without any mint mark. That tiny detail transformed an already special coin into an incredibly valuable treasure. Imagine spotting one in your collection. At first glance, it looks like the familiar 1998 commemorative coin. But when you examine closely, the mint mark is missing, and suddenly you are holding a fortune in your hands. So why is it so valuable? The answer is clear: rarity and demand. Very few of these no-mint mark coins exist, making them highly sought after by serious collectors. And because of the historical theme tied to one of Australia's greatest discoveries, the demand is enormous. This is not just any coin. It is a coin that tells two powerful stories. First, the story of Bass and Flinders, two men whose bravery helped define the shape of Australia on the world map. Second, the story of a minting anomaly that created one of the rarest treasures of the modern era. Collectors and investors know that coins like this do not come around often. When they appear on the market, they command astonishing prices. Depending on condition, a no-mint mark Bass Strait 50 cent coin can easily bring in thousands of dollars. In pristine condition, values have soared beyond $7,000, and some collectors are willing to pay even more. Think about that, a single 50-cent piece, struck less than 3 decades ago, now worth thousands of dollars simply because of a missing mint mark. That is the magic and mystery of numismatics. And what makes it even more exciting is the possibility that these coins may still be out there, hidden away in old collections, forgotten in coin jars, or tucked into family keepsakes, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what they're looking for. That is the thrill of coin collecting. Every piece of change has the potential to be something extraordinary, and this coin is living proof of that. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1998 Bass Strait 50-cent coin with no mint mark is not just currency. It is history, it is rarity, and it is value combined into one shining treasure. If you are lucky enough to hold one, you are holding a piece of Australia's past and a fortune for your future. And if you are still searching, let this coin inspire you to keep looking, because treasures like this are out there, waiting to be found. The maximum value of this coin is nothing short of incredible, with top specimens fetching beyond $7,000. It stands as one of the crown jewels of modern Australian coinage. So keep your eyes sharp, your passion alive, and your collections growing, because the next great discovery may be sitting right in your hands. Finally, as we conclude our journey through Australia's most remarkable 50-cent coins, we arrive at 2010 with the Australia Day 50-cent coin, a fitting tribute to national pride, unity, and the spirit of celebration that makes this coin a truly valuable treasure. To understand its significance, let's go back to 2010. Australia Day, celebrated every year on January 26, marks the anniversary of the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788. It is a day of reflection, unity, and national pride. To honor this occasion, the Royal Australian Mint issued a special 50-cent coin featuring an iconic design. The design captured the vibrant spirit of Australia Day. It was bold, patriotic, and meant to remind every Australian that coins are not just currency. They are carriers of history and national identity. Now here is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Among the coins struck that year, a small number were produced without a mint mark. That tiny detail, the absence of a mint mark, transformed the coin from a commemorative issue into a rare treasure that collectors crave. At first glance, it looks like any other 2010 Australia Day coin. But look closely. The mint mark is missing. That absence is what makes it one of the most valuable 50-cent coins of the modern era. Why is it so valuable? The answer lies in its rarity and the significance of what it represents. Very few of these no-mint-mark coins exist. Collectors know that scarcity drives value, and when that scarcity is tied to a coin celebrating Australia's National Day, the demand becomes immense. This coin tells two powerful stories. The first is about Australia itself, a nation built on history, resilience, and pride. The second is about the mystery of minting, where a small error can elevate an already significant coin into the realm of legendary. Imagine holding one of these in your hands, a coin worth only 50 cents when it left the mint, now transformed into a prize worth thousands of dollars. That is the thrill of numismatics. Collectors and investors are constantly searching for these coins. They know that whenever one appears on the market, competition is fierce. Depending on condition, a no-mint-mark 2010 Australia Day 50-cent coin has been known to sell for as much as $8,000, and in some cases, even higher. That is the maximum value this coin can achieve, a staggering figure for something so small, yet so rich in meaning. Think about it. A coin you could have once spent at the shops, now commanding a value that rivals a family treasure. It proves once again that fortune can hide in the most ordinary of places. And what makes it even more exciting is the possibility that these coins are still out there. They may be tucked away in old collections, sitting unnoticed in jars, or resting quietly in someone's coin album, waiting for the right set of eyes to recognize their worth. This is why coin collecting is so thrilling. Every piece of change has the potential to be extraordinary. Every coin carries a story, and some carry the power to change your fortune. The 2010 Australia Day 50-cent coin with no mint mark is one of those coins. It is rare, it is valuable, and it is unforgettable. Ladies and gentlemen, let this motivate you. Check your collections. Look closely at your coins, because the next great discovery may already be in your possession. The story of this coin reminds us that history and value can combine in the most unexpected ways. What was once a simple 50-cent piece is now a crown jewel in Australian numismatics. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting, because treasures like this prove that the smallest discoveries can lead to the greatest rewards. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the fascinating world of the 2010 Australia Day 50-cent coin. Remember, every coin has a story, and some, like this one, can make history and fortune come together in your hands.